here's an exec strat for D Mirage. It's not too difficult to remember. It's kind of a, I don't know, it comes real naturally. It's a pretty intuitive setup and still very effective, I think. But we're gonna need 3 to 4 smokes. Well, usually 4. The 5th smoke on our team can be used where it's needed. This strat only requires 3 on the A site, and one guy is going to be smoking top mid most of the time to make it seem like we're going mid, because this strat's really vulnerable to like a CT. Say a CT spawns, has a P90, and just kind of comes through here and jumps. You can jump through the window and hug this wall and kind of run up. Or often what happens is one of their B guys is going to come cat and kind of flash over, like like that, and then take a peek to see what's going on mid. If they hear a smoke pop, like usually this guy will, once he peeks and doesn't see anybody there, he'll kind of start pushing up to flank from either B or go T-spawn to A. But if there's a smoke here, he'll be less hesitant to push up right away because it kind of conveys that we have a presence at mid. And there could be a guy lurking like in any of these corners. Or like even in here, just kind of watching for someone pushing through. So it just, even though there's not going to be a guy mid for the majority of the strat, it at least kind of conveys that there is a guy there. So this strat involves 3 Molotovs, preferably on the palace guy. The strat involves 4 people starting off at A through ramp and 1 guy coming palace. And the lurker is going to be the 4th guy at A, and he's going to branch off back to mid once he fulfills his serves his purpose by throwing his smoke for the execute. But the people with Molotovs are going to be the guy going palace, which can be, well, it should be a rifler, probably a support rifler, and the other 3 guys over at A should be the entry fragger, another support rifler, and an opera if you want. This strat can be executed with 5 rifles or with 4 rifles and an op, pretty much in the same way, but an op can be helpful for spotting toll booth, because there's going to be a smoke CT, and toll booth is one of the only places that they can play that's not going to be smoked out, so that'll be important. But there's a few setups that we can get to hit the guy toll booth anyway with 5 rifles, but we'll start with the smokes. So like I said, one of the guys on A, either the palace guy or one of the A guys. The palace guy or one of the ramp guys can throw the top mid smoke, where you jump on this trash can, come in the corner, and you aim like this. You line it up with this little wooden beam on the roof with this wire on the antenna, and you throw it. Smoke. That actually landed kind of deep, but yeah, it still fulfills its purpose. The whole point of this smoke, to block the opper in window, so that he can't op your teammates as they're trying to cross the top mid. The guy cat can still see, but he's not gonna. He usually won't be there fast enough to see your teammates crossing the mid. If your teammates are taking mid quickly, he won't be able to see. But there's not going to be a guy mid at the beginning of the round anyway, so it's not really relevant. So he's going to throw that relatively early in the round, just to convey a mid presence there, and the opper, to kind of keep the opper in window. We're going to need a stair smoke, which is done by jumping on this ledge, line yourself up with this little beam, and you aim. It's not really a lineup, you just kind of aim right here. It's not really lining up. Maybe you can think of it as lining up with the edge of this little piece of architecture here. And then you throw. Smoke! Flies over, bounces off that, bounces downstairs. This strat involves a smoke that it smokes both it smokes both connector and jungle with one smoke, so it's kind of a 2-in-1. The only issue it has is that it doesn't cover jungle as much as it could, so if there's an opper jungle, they can still sort of see over it, but we're gonna throw smokes and a whole bunch of flashbangs over the roof, so ideally you're not gonna have to worry about him peeking through the smoke, but I'll show you what I mean in a second. But that smoke goes like this. You line it up. If you can see it, there's two spots on the wall. There's this one, and there's this one. Kind of hard to see at first, but once you like see it, you'll never miss it. But you line yourself up with this beam right here. You aim at this spot, the one on the left, and you aim up until you're at a height where you're in between these two, whatever those things are called, outcrops, and you throw it.
Smoke!
Bounces off stairs, bounces off the wall, lands in between, lands right here. So you can see the connector guy is smoked out. The stairs is also going to be smoked, so we won't be able to go stairs. And jungle is still pretty smoked out. Like, as you can see, the only thing this guy can see is a little bit on the top, but he still can't see anything on Balak, really, as long as you don't go too far over. And he can't see anything right here. So it's a relatively effective smoke. Like, if nothing else, if that actually becomes a problem, we can use our team's 5th smoke to also smoke jungle separately, like this. But it's kind of a waste. I don't know. But you can smoke jungle by aiming at the spot on the right, like a little bit to the right of it, and aiming at the same spot in between the two outcrops. Like
I'm throwing smoke.
Takes the same pathway, except it bounces off the corner of the wall, so it goes in the jungle instead. And this one, the opper can't see a damn thing. But most oppers aren't going to be able to really see something through the first smoke and get a shot off, so I'm not too worried. And the last smoke is a CD spawn smoke. There's a few ways to throw it. The way that I usually throw it is I come and line myself up with this corner of the wall, aim a little bit above this outcrop right here, and jump throw it. It's not a perfect jump throw. I don't have jump throw bound, but I just kind of jump and throw it. It'll land in a few different places. You can make it so that it lands deeper, so that this box isn't visible. Let me see if I can do that. Aim a little higher.
I'm throwing smoke.
Yeah, that was better. But well, you can still see the box. Sometimes it'll go so deep that you can't even see the box, but that becomes relevant, because then the only place that the CD guy can play is they'll try and jump on the box, and they'll jump up on toll booth and try and op you. This isn't the greatest spot regardless, because there's going to be flashes coming over, and if this guy's coped in on a ramp, he's not going to see the flashes coming over the roof, and so he'll get flashed and have to fall back into a smoke. But one way or another. But yeah, you can definitely make that smoke so the smoke covers the box and makes it a little bit harder for them to see the place where they have to jump up on it. But even so, if they practice this jump, it's not horribly difficult to do, even if you can't see the box completely. So we're not going to worry about that gimmick. The other way to do it that doesn't involve a jump throw is you come into the corner of this ledge. You aim a little to the right, and you like aim it up, line up with this roof, and a little bit to the right, and you run through it. Just a small tap on the W key. Okay, that was unfortunate. It bounced off the little lip right there. But whereas I don't like the smoke. It takes longer. It just unnecessarily takes longer. Instead, like, you can throw this smoke really quickly. You just come to the corner, you know. On the other one, you have to jump on here, and then come up here, and line up this way. And then you have to run throw it, and the run throw is way less consistent than the jump throw. Like, when you jump throw it here, it'll have a little bit of variability, but it's not gonna be so much that you're gonna miss the smoke. It'll just vary in how deep it goes into CD spawn, but 99 times out of 100, it's gonna block off CD spawn completely. So there's no really worries there. But those are all the smokes. As far as the idea for the strat goes, we're gonna have Let me get this rifle, wherever it was. Oh, it's right here. What we're gonna have happen is, like I said, the entry fragger, the lurker, a support rifler, and the opera if we have one. If not, if the opera has a rifle, that's also fine. Are gonna come up A. Not peeking this, because there's usually an opera in yard that's opping down here. So not peeking this just yet. Generally, the CTs will smoke either A ramp, palace, or both. In which case, we have to wait out the smokes. And in that case, the lurker is going to be watching for someone flanking through T-spawn. Flanking from mid or B apps to T-spawn and going for the push. Preferably the lurker and the guy who throws the CT smoke because it's the closest from over here. Can watch behind. While the rest of the teammates are kind of just posted on ramp and palace looking for those pushes too. But it's highly unlikely that they're going to be pushing through a smoke that they threw. So it's kind of counterintuitive. If these aren't smoked, especially if ramp's not smoked, the lurker instead is going to come and he's going to post on ramp, and the palace guy, since he's not throwing a smoke, is going to post on palace. Some angle. You could, like, this angle is good because you have a little bit of cover from the beam or from the pillar. You can post on this angle, but you should post for the push and listen for somebody climbing up the ladder and posting on balcony. While these guys are going to be posted looking for the pushes, that's when the other three guys are going to be lining up the smokes. But remember, at the beginning of the strat, the lurker will throw his smoke for top mid. So he'll have used his smoke. So he'll throw a smoke top mid and then he'll come back. And if A ramp's not smoked, he's going to post and look for the push. He can post like, here's a good spot because they're usually not pre-aimed at it. Or maybe right here, or you could just play like here, here, but they usually pre-fire this. Some sort of off angle, like right here. Regardless, if your crosshair placement is good, you'll kill the guy that pushes. But that's your job. The other guy's gonna line up the smokes, so they'll throw their smokes, and once the smoke blooms, this guy in palace is gonna be listening for the smokes to pop, and the moment that they do, these guys are all gonna get close. Like, the entry fragger and one of the support riflers is going to get close to this wall. After throwing a flash or two to, again, stymie this opper, who's like peeking this corner right here, like this. Whoops, I'm on the floor. So there's usually an opper who kind of peeks like this. And if he's too deep in connector, if he's trying to get a really tight angle, the smoke will actually cover him. So he'll have to come out like this, and he'll have to peek a tighter angle. But after the entire team throws a smoke, they should throw flashes over the wall. It'll especially get the opper posted on that angle because, again, he's going to be scoping and he's not going to see the flashes coming over. Like, flashes like this are fine.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang.
Yeah. All three of these will get this opper. But once those flashes go off, the entry fragger and one of the support riflers, or the entry fragger and the support rifler, or I guess the opera, it doesn't really matter, they're going to get close to this wall. And the guy in palace is going to get into this corner. Or he's not going to get into the corner. He's gonna be like really close to this wall. So they're both going to be ready. The entry fragger or the support rifler is then going to Molotov sandwich.
Throwing fire.
Let's see, he's burning. So he has to come out all the way like this if he doesn't want to burn to death. But he has to swing pretty wide. As soon as this guy in palace hears the Molotov pop, both him and the entry fragger are going to peek at the same time, and they're gonna catch this guy in sandwich in a crossfire. One's gonna be shooting him like this, the other one's gonna be shooting him like this. And he's gonna have to peek at least that much in order to get out of the fire. More realistically, he's gonna be like around here. But the interfere still shouldn't peek too wide. He should still just peek as much as he has to because he doesn't want to expose himself to the operator that could potentially be on toll booth or somebody that's on site. So this is all he needs. Now once that happens, once that's clear, then one of the teammates that's playing back, like the opper, is going to flash over the wall again in order to peek this guy on toll booth, who could be on toll booth. So once they fought this guy sandwich and they know there's nobody there, or they've killed him, the lurker, or not the lurker, the guy playing Palace is then going to hug this wall, and the entry fragger, or depending if the entry fragger dies, the support rifler is going to hug this wall. The operator is going to throw that flash. They're both going to peek the guy's spot, though, on toll booth. When I say them both, I mean the support rifler or the entry fragger from ramp and the guy in Palace are going to peek this guy here as soon as the flash pops and go for the kill. And again, it'll be a crossfire coming from here and here. Hopefully, you'll have killed one of those two guys. If neither of them are there, and you've cleared those angles out, you should still have somebody posted on toll booth because this guy can come on top of it any minute. But after that's happened, the rest of the team's Molotovs are kind of adjustable because there's a bunch of Molotovs you can throw. For example, you can throw this Molotov and it gets ninja spot right here. That's a common spot that people like to hide. People also like to play on top of the box. The Molotov is actually sick. On top of the box. Cool part about this Molotov is that it gets both corners, so that you can flush these guys out. But I don't know, it's kind of iffy. Sometimes it'll miss one of the corners if you don't have the lineup perfectly. But that Molotov will definitely get this corner, and if you want to strictly Molotov that corner, the guy in Palace can do it pretty easily, just by coming like this and just bouncing it. Okay, let me wait for those to fade before I throw it again. Just by coming out like this, I think it's like on this thing. Yeah, there you go. Bounce it off that. And this guy, even though the fire's not here, he's burning. But once again, someone will throw the Molotov, and ideally the guy in Palace will still be alive, so someone will throw the Molotov and they'll again catch this guy or this guy in a crossfire and go for the kill. And once all that is said and done, this guy Palace is never really going to come out of Palace. He's just going to be like coming out and participating in crossfires, because once everything is cleared, the only place that we haven't cleared yet is under Balk. That can be done again with a Molotov, like this.
Throwing fire.
Or something to that effect. The guy Palace can also Molotov under Balk from in there by coming into the corner and aiming like right there.
Molotov.
Okay, not right there. This is all on the fly. I haven't really practiced these lineups. That was a fail. Okay.
Molotov.
There we go. The only problem is this Molotov is a little too far to the left, and it doesn't get this guy on the box. The last Molotov that I just showed got the guy in the box. Even though the box is a really shitty place to play, because you're like stuck here. You can't run away and get cover because you're like wedged in between the top wedged in between the box and the balcony, so it's like you move really slowly. You're crab walking out. So that should be an easy kill if you just peek him. You can also like nade that spot too. But yeah, take a Molotov under balcony. Come on, kill him. After you've done that, everything's clear. Like all this is happening really quickly, like snap decisions. Like timing is really important because these smokes are fading as this is all happening. But once all that's clear, should have at least one or two, at least one, hopefully two entry frags at this point. You've cleared the site. Then the guy Palace is going to pull back. The bomb carrier, the support rifler here most likely, or the opper can carry the bomb. They'll come and they'll plant it. Palace. And as far as post-plant positions go, this is actually planted. You can plant it a little more like this, I think. No, you can't do that anymore.
I am planting the bomb.
You can plant it there. Alternatively, you can plant it here. And it's still kind of planted for the guy Palace. He can still like, if you plant it right here.
I am planting the bomb.
The cool part is this guy can't be on the bomb defusing it and staring at ramp or Palace. So you plant it right in the box. The guy Palace can kind of, if the guy's defusing from this side, he can shoot him. If the guy's defusing from this side, he can shoot him like that, or he can just jump on top of him. This one's kind of, this is kind of YOLO, but you can still do that. So you can plant it for either Palace or ramp, depending on where you have more teammates alive and how you're feeling. Planting it right here is probably a little bit better, just because it's planted for these guys and the guy in Palace. So if they smoke one of them off, then the other guys are still covering the bomb, and nobody has to run through a smoke. But then the bomb will be planted. As far as post-plant positions go, like... thank you. But as far as post-plant positions go, cool crossfires. You can have a guy playing in sandwich, and then you have the guy playing, the guy's playing ramp, and the guy's playing Palace. So it's like you have them shooting at him from here, shooting from here, shooting from here, shooting from here. It's like the sickest crossfire ever. Same situation. You can have a guy playing Palace instead of sandwich, not Palace, Tetris instead of sandwich. A little bit safer, a little more cover. You can mix it up every once in a while. But those are some of the best post-plant positions that you can have. Just someplace where you have cover, so that you can't be rushed too easily. Now the only person's role that we haven't discussed is Lurker. And like I said, Lurker is going to throw that top mid smoke. Or no, not the Lurker. The guy in Palace is going to throw that top mid smoke. And then Lurker will, as I said, cover either push from here or push from here. And then he'll go. And once the team is executing, he's going to start pushing towards mid. And this is where he's going to lurk from. He's going to, while this top mid smoke is still there, he's going to cross over and he's going to come and he's going to hide behind the box like this. And it'll kind of, he doesn't even really have to be posted on any angles. Ideally, he would never peek. Like, ideally, he would just be here like this and just listen for somebody pushing up mid. Or watch for the guy pushing up cat and trying to flank his teammates. Once he's posted on this for a while, and once the teammates at A have executed their strat, clear out the bomb site and got the plant, then he's going to come into action. And he's going to spring into action. He's just going to be like here. He's going to peek a really tight angle, maybe swing wide once in a while, just see what's going on. To see where the B guys are going to be rotating from, because the most common place for them to rotate from is either market to CT or come cat to mid. And he'll still have his smoke. So, say his teammates are saying, there's a guy cat, he can, smoke cat. and then this guy can't. And this guy's gonna have to run through a smoke. Like he'll smoke cat and he'll be posted on the smoke. So once and then the guy's gonna obviously have to try to push through the smoke, and then he'll get the free kill. Similarly, he can play right here, posted on cat. The only problem with this is he doesn't really have any cover. If the guy pushes him hard, like if he's right here and the guy swings around, pushes him, it's like I don't know. Don't really have any decent places to run. Same thing for like underpass. Like you're literally just stuck to using this wall as cover, and then you're stuck in a corner. So this is a little bit of a better position to play. But like for example, say his teammates are like checking cat and there's nobody there, and they don't need support a cat, then he can do other stuff. He can cause havoc for the CTs elsewhere. He can go, obviously he can go connector and just join his teammates. He can go ladder room. Ladder room to here. Ladder room to window, and then come behind the guys that are coming CT or market. You can kind of just like stand on the table. We posted like this. There's a lot of things he can do. He has basically free reign over how the CTs are going to be retaking the bomb site. And he'll know if somebody flanks through mid, so that his teammates aren't going to have to worry about them coming all the way around like this. The only way that they'll be able to get out, the only way the CTs will be able to flank is if they go through BAPs. The long way. So someone should listen for this and watch for this. The palace guy doesn't even really have any reason to be posted on the bomb until someone's defusing it, so he can kind of watch behind him just to make sure that there's nobody flanking him. Same thing goes for like the A ramp guys. It's even better if you have an opper, because he can come all the way back here. Just watch T spawn and take a really long range engagement with anybody who'd be coming. But that's the ins and outs of the strat, basically. Like I didn't go over all the specific flashes that you can throw, but I mean those are it's kind of implied that you're going to be throwing flashes, but flashes that are good are like the palace guy can throw a flash like this. That's a decent pop flash for this guy. For a guy playing CD spawn, or just a guy playing on top of toll booth. I mean, he sees really that much of the flash. You can throw general flashes, like you can flash like that, or maybe a little bit further back or a little bit higher up.
Throwing a flashback.
If you want to flash like this general area, like someone in connector. Like if someone's in connector, they're again gonna get pop flash really badly. Someone in jungle will probably see this flash though. But most flashes that'll be thrown after the smokes will be like over the roof.
Flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang.
Like just into this
flashbang
place. But that's the ins and outs of the strat. This is, like I said, this is a really adaptable strat, depending on what the CTs are doing, where they like to play. For example, like if they like to play in that corner, under box sandwich, we'll be able to adapt to strat and adjust the Molotovs accordingly. Say they're having heavy presence at jungle, or this offer can see enough through this jungle smoke that he can, get a shot off. Then we can use the last smoke that the lurker has to maybe throw more dedicated smoke for jungle. Yeah. That's pretty much it for the strat. Let me know what you guys think.